Ah. Alright, welcome back everybody. I apologize to the brief delay on that live stream. Had a little bit of a client issue, had to get it sorted out. And we're ready to go. So let's hop right in, see if NTH can run this back. VP now Radiant side first pick. See if they're going to continue with standard bans or if there's going to be something interesting coming up. You have to think you'd think teams might start banning Gyrocopter, but they still value. You will occasionally see him first phase banned, but a lot of times they still value the other kind of big ban heroes, the Wisp, the Coddle, the Nyx, the Bat Rider, more than that Gyrocopter. But I don't know. Gyro just brings so much to the table. And VP, knowing that they don't want to first pick Lone Druid, happily ban him out and say, alright, you know, we're not going to give him to Bulldog, and we're going to force you to pick whether you want us to have Nyx or Bat. On the other hand, NTH could ban neither of those heroes and then make sure they claim at least one of them. We will see. Or we'll see if they just value maybe the Nyx too highly. No, they're going to ban the Darks here. They're going to go for exactly that. So I would assume a Nyx going to be picked up by VP, followed by maybe a Bat Rider Magnus by no Tidehunter. I think that's a very possible set of picks. Or if VP prefers a Bat Rider, it could be a Nyx Magnus. Although that's a little more awkward. I mean, you can get the support Nyx, but I feel like Bat Magnus is a little more natural. On the other hand, maybe nobody wants Magnus. Maybe I'm just wrong. He's only the king of initiation.
5 seconds remaining.
VP taking their time. They're really considering who do we want out of this first pick. What is it we want to, what kind of team do we want to build, and which of these, really strong heroes complements it the best? I think Nyx leaves your options open more, which is one of the reasons I'd pick him if I only had one pick. And as a first pick over Bat Rider, I think they're both exceptionally powerful, but Nyx is more versatile in how he can lane, and also I think more versatile in the role he can play. Whereas Bat Rider, as good as he is at what he does, he is picked up. He is in extent. I mean, he's basically a one-trick pony. He has his lasso, which is amazing, and then he has teamfight damage. So I guess that's a two-trick pony, but still. Nyx is a more versatile here. Nyx and Nature's Prophet going to be. That looks to me like a team that wants to pick a Lifestealer again for Loda, because those are two heroes that complement Lifestealers Infest very, very well, and so they're happy to kind of let Virtus.Pro take the Gyrocopter as their carry, and do kind of a global and very highly mobile ganking strat with the Lifestealer. I would really expect NTH to pick that up if VP doesn't do it right now. Which I don't think they will. They have an incredibly good record with Airman on that Gyrocopter.
5 seconds remaining.
I talk about maybe the Gyro will get banned. Maybe they'll start respect banning Gyro against VP.
Reserve time.
VP taking a lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe if they. I mean, they have to know that's all right. So they're going to take the Magnus, maybe the Gyro, maybe the Bane. If they take the Bane, there's no way they're getting the Gyro in the second phase. But they have to know no Tidehunter is going for a Lifestealer setup with those picks, because not only does Loda love the hero, he works exceptionally well with those two heroes already picked. So if you don't pick him, he's probably going to be picked as third pick just to avoid having him banned out. There's the Gyro. VP says, we are confident in Airman. See if that confidence is merited. I'm talking like it is. I've seen some amazing things happen. Oh, Chen actually going to be the pick, so it looks like maybe they're going for a push lineup as opposed to a gank lineup. That's a lot of push already picked up. And honestly, against Bat Rider, Magnus, Gyro, a lot of, pushing creeps is not really something I'm comfortable picking. That's a lot of spam already. You have the Firefly that comes out. You have the Napalm to make things harder to push through. And punish those Chen creeps if they stay out too long. It's very, very easy to punish them with Napalm and Flame Break. You have the Magnus Shockwave, which is very spammable. You have the Gyrocopter Flat Cannon, which is very, very good at clearing out, Nature's Prophet creeps in general. So, I mean, you can get a whole lot of ganking done with those three as well. But I am a little concerned if they're trying to... the mid-game push of that lineup won't be able to be fully utilized against VP's already existing 3 picks. I don't think they need to pick any more counter push. Unless NTH really says we're going all in with this push, they have all the counter push they're ever going to need.
5 seconds remaining.
Ban from NTH, I would expect banning out something like Shadow Demon, something like Bane. There's the Bane. There's the Lifestealer ban that we knew was coming. Undying going to be banned out. Maybe they want to aggro try again. I mean, again, if you're banning Undying, you're probably going for a try versus try setup, because that's where he's most powerful. I mean, there was a whole joke chart, you know, what to do in a tri lane as a support, blah 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 blah, and basically it came down to, is our tri lane stronger than theirs? Yes, kill them. No, next time ban Undying. The guy is just ridiculous. Last ban for VP, maybe see another carry banned out. Juggernaut, they're afraid of that mid-game push. They're afraid of a very, very, very aggressive healing ward supported push, and so they say we're not even going to deal with it. There goes the Shadow Demon for no Tidehunter. So, basically, 3 incredibly powerful, well, 2 very powerful pushing carries. Luna with her aura, and Juggernaut with the healing ward, and then also the Lifestealer, because not only is he just a strong mid-game carry that would complement them very well, but with Nyx, Nature's Prophet, and Chen, you know, Chen creeps, Nature's Prophet ports, and Nyx stealth, so many good ways to get Lifestealer in the middle of a fight. Alchemist, the next pickup from Virtus.Pro, probably going to be a support Alchemist, simply because of the laning situation they're going to be forced into. Rubik picked up by no Tidehunter, so, I mean, they might be able to get some good steals, but also just a generically good support when a lot of the truly superb supports in the game are banned out. Alchemist also tells me they're looking at a try versus try situation again. I mean, if they can get the Alchemist stun to start up, if they can kind of sneak him in, if he's the one doing the pulling in the jungle and the Shrock is kind of hanging out in the lane, get an Alch stun that's charged up from the jungle. And again, I mean, if they're trying to go try versus try, are they assuming that the Chen Rubik is part of an aggressive try? I mean, what are they going to end up with? What is no Tidehunter going to pick as the final hero? They could run a Chen Rubik Nyx aggressive try if they, and basically that very highly relies upon Chen getting a good gank style creep. If he gets something like a Wild Wing or a Satyr, he can put on a lot of harass and try to force people out of the lane, but you're not going to get a whole lot of kills unless Chen gets an Ursa, a Troll, or a Centaur. So it's a bit of a gamble. I'm curious to see what their last carry pickup is going to be here, because the Juggernaut would have been an excellent, excellent way to fill out this lineup, but with him banned out, I'm just... I mean, if they want an aggressive tri-lane, it's not going to be something like Anti-Mage or Phantom Lancer. Both of those are too farm dependent and need just a little too much. There's no Keeper of the Lights. They can't have infinite Phantom Lancer spam to help in that aggressive try, which you never aggressive try Coddle in PL anyway. But just as a theory, sort of mentionable thing. They're thinking long and hard about this. God, I wish I could just have the hero list up in front of me, because I always do this thing where I'm trying to think, okay, carries, and my mind goes blank for what's a particularly good carry for the situation unless I have the list in front of me. In which case I can look at a hero and be like, oh man, that would fit really well right there. Okay, that ain't no aggressive tri-lane. Unless they're real weird. NTH is going for a late game, you literally cannot beat us because we have Spectre, good game. So basically, I think the trick here will be that they'll use all the ganking and pushing power of Nature's Prophet, Chan, Rubik, and Nyx to try and just free up the map for Spectre to get as much farm as possible, and then we'll hit the late game transition and Spectre just wins. Because not only is Dispersion incredibly powerful in the fact that all the damage you deal to Spectre smacks everyone around him or her in the face, but basically Spectre in the end game, when she has enough damage and stats that her illusions are particularly powerful, you press R and all of the enemy support heroes die. I mean, think about that. It takes huge chunks out of their life bar. Alright, very quickly, EGM, going to be playing the Rubik for NTH. Loda on the carry Spectre, no surprise. Ake on his Chen. Going to have S4 going mid with the Nyx Assassin, and Bulldog playing the off-lane Nature's Prophet. Over on the side of Virtus.Pro, Santa going to be playing the Bat Rider. TMW going to be playing the Magnus, going to be taking him middle. Vampire going to be playing the Leshrac once again. Did a great job with it last game. KSI on the Alchemist. And Airman, Illidan Stormrage, going to be on his trademark Gyrocopter. Scouting tree out here. Going to die before anyone gets enough damage off to get gold or experience off it. It's timing out. It's timing out. There we go. Oh, and he burns a little bit of mana on it. It's not a huge amount of mana, but then again, he's not going to be contested in lane at all, so it's not that big of a deal. And see, I wish now they would go try versus try, because Spectre, if you try lane against Spectre, I mean, I guess they basically said, without a jungle, there's no real good way for them to get opening stuns on us if they have no place to kind of sneak out of with that Alchemist. So we don't have to worry about try versus try. Maybe that's why they decided to pick the Spectre. But getting aggressively tri-laned on is Spectre's downfall, because she's so weak in lane, and that's when you have to shut her down, is during the laning phase. During the mid game, NTH's team is going to be so strong that it'll be very difficult for pickoffs to happen on that Spectre, and she can very quickly haunt a reality to pick up kills if she needs to. That's another nice thing about Spectre, is anytime a gank's happening anywhere on the map, Spectre can just come steal the kill for just basically free experience and gold, because nobody needs it more than Spectre. But we'll see how Loda does on that. Looks like he's just going to be farming completely uncontested, just like he was in Game 1, and he couldn't make it happen then. TMW going up against S4 in the mid lane here. Already burning through a decent chunk of his mana, but he is going the Bottle Rush build. Only 50 gold to go, one more creep, and he's got a Shockwave for that if he really needs it. But seeing as he's up against a melee hero, he's going to have no problems getting his hands on that. S4 went stun first. Is he going to start burning off all that mana so TMW can't get that spam going? No, he's going to Spiked Carapace instead. Interesting. Against a hero like Magnus, even if he's rushing a bottle, I would like to have a mana burn, just because it may not do the most damage, but he's so dependent on his abilities in lane that forcing him to Bottle Crow or forcing him to be kind of really desperate for runes gives you a little bit of not only a mental advantage, but also when that bottle is on the Crow, when he doesn't have a rune, he's got a serious disadvantage in not having any mana. I mean, if he doesn't have mana to skewer, he's in some trouble and can be ganked very easily. We do actually have Bulldog contesting for him down here, trying to get himself a little bit of farm and XP. KSI going to be diving back here with his Alchemist stun, making sure to get it nice and charged up. Not actually going to get anything done. Nobody else is willing to dive with him. But he gets a little bit of damage in there on Bulldog. 115 about. Looks like we might have an engagement up here. The Nyx Assassin now tanking towers. Looks like he got skewered in. Damage is coming out. He has the Spike Carapace ready. He does indeed, so he's going to be looking... Alright, there goes the stun. Oh, he's going to try and turn it around, and nice! He knew it was coming. He was just trying to bait out that Shockwave. Excellent play by S4, knowing exactly what it was going to come down to against TMW right there. But Dire loses their courier. Where did it die? Where did it die? Did they sneak back and get it right here? I don't even know. I wonder whose stuff was on it. No one's. Apparently just kind of went down. Oh, it was still a walking courier. That's so unfortunate. That is a nice courier. Wow. Anyway. So S4 getting himself a nice early advantage in mid lane, but without the courier, he's not really going to be able to press it. Alchemist does pick off Bulldog down here, along with Airman and Vampire. And that's a dangerous lane. I mean, Bulldog, he can farm it, kind of, because he has the trees. He can put a little bit of pressure on. But against a Gyrocopter, it's so difficult to not just get those trees flat cannoned down. And you can't really use them nearly as much as you'd like to for harassment, because you don't want to feed a bunch of extra experience and gold to the farming Gyrocopter. So I would almost rather Bulldog just go and start taking jungle camps. But... Stun's going to be used, and rocket barrages to pick off these creeps right here. Get that little bit of extra experience and gold for Airman. I mean, the problem is he can't really just go jungle because Ake so desperately needs it, and that's unfortunate. I mean, they kind of locked themselves into forcing this Nature's Prophet into a long lane where he can't be particularly effective. So, I mean, it's not the greatest for him. He's still sitting on just level 2. He's out of mana, meaning he basically can't really go into his lane. And there's an acid spray now pressuring his tower. It looks like VP is going to again take down the tower in their Gyrocopter lane very early. You know, it's something that Gyrocopter's particularly good at doing. If you give him uncontested farm, he's very good at just clearing the entire creep wave and picking off the tower because of flat cannon. It's a super, super good ability. In case you guys haven't noticed, it's, you know, it does a whole lot of work in these games. Looks like we may have Nyx coming around to try and give a little bit of a hand here. He does not have his ultimate yet, so he can't sneak in undetected. Lots of people converging over here onto Admiral Bulldog. I'm not sure S4 is even going to... He might try to throw a stun, but catches in the middle of the skewer, TMW. Excellent defensive stun right there. But there goes the first stack of Napalm, and it looks like they're really going to commit. VP is going to commit to bringing down Bulldog right here. 4 heroes. Here comes the Rocket Barrage. Bulldog has no mana, no way to escape from that, and Gyrocopter picks up a nice, solid kill. So he is, you know, having a good time for himself right there. Loda, of course, farming uncontested up there, 27-2, but 25-3 for the Gyro, and a kill on top of it, and also an assist earlier on the first death that Bulldog had. Well, it looks like now it's NTH's turn to be pushing in this top lane. They do have the Chen, who's right there and ready to push, and that's always someone who's difficult to deal with. Looks like we have an Alchemist stun being charged up, but I think Loda has enough. Oh no, there goes the stun landing on him, but Santa's going to chase down Ake. It looks like EGM wanted to telly him, but couldn't quite get in range to do so. So lots of back and forth happening up there. No kills, not as of yet. But I do really think they want to put a little more pressure on this Spectre. It's so dangerous to let a Spectre just free farm. I mean, it's basically it wins games if you just free farm your Spectre. Oh, there's another stun on a Loda. He gets stunned right under the tower, so he takes a little bit of extra damage. KSI does not get the deny, which is what he was going in for right there. But he has a little too much health for him to feel comfortable chasing him. He can always acid spray if he needs to get a little more damage and make them less comfortable chasing him even. But first tower kill does go to Loda right there. Picks himself up. What looks like he's going to be going drums. And then quickly follow up. Airman on the Gyro, taking down a tower as well. So a quiet game in terms of kills. There have been a couple back and forth engagements. Not a whole lot done except for Bulldog's couple deaths and that one kill in mid with the spiked Carapace. But let's see, how's the farm war coming along? The Gyro is a little bit ahead of Loda, but not hugely. The Nyx is slightly beating the Magnus in mid, so it's starting out very, very even. And if you're trading even in the laning phase, if you're going about even, and you have a Spectre, you're winning at the moment. Because Spectre, I think it was Merlini who said once, basically, if you pick a Spectre, you're conceding the laning phase. You're saying, we are not going to win our lanes, because we have a Spectre, and she's so incredibly weak and useless in lane. So the fact that they're just letting the Spectre free farm is just beyond me. I mean, they need to be putting more pressure on her, because an even trade in the laning phase, so if the Spectre gets nice and farmed early and is actually able to kind of engage in the mid-game a little bit, she won't be incredibly effective, but she'll certainly be more than just a hero farming the woods not doing anything. So, you know, like I've been saying, it worries me a little that VP is letting this happen. You'd think they'd be a little more cautious about something like this. They have to know about super late game carries. And the thing is, I mean, if you're Airman and you decide to go your Rapier build in this game and you start focusing it on Spectre, basically what ends up happening is you kill your whole team at the same time, because 20% of the damage you're dealing is getting reflected to everybody. And that can be absolutely massive if you're just pumping Rapier hits into Spectre. I'm just waiting for the game where everyone buys a Blade Mail to, and then when Gyro flat cannons with his Divine Rapier, everyone pops their Blade Mail. That would be pretty funny. Although, I'm not sure that flat cannon attacks will actually get returned, because there's a lot of things that don't happen with flat cannon attacks, because they're not technically considered attacks. We do have Gank coming on to TMW, everyone coming in there, Bulldog just getting in time for the experience right there, and Loda getting 2 kills, both with his, looks like he got both of those just with his Haunt. That's pretty awesome for him right there. He gets the last hit onto Magnus, and also gets a pick off on Alchemist in the top lane at the same time. And, man, Loda could not really be having a better start. 42-4 for creeps, 2-0 already, a tower kill to his name. Again, this is exactly what Spectre wants, but VP, they're not really making any moves to slow it down at all. I mean, they're kind of putting KSI up there, trying to solo against the Spectre, but that's a dangerous, dangerous game to play with just one hero. Just a little bit of support. I mean, Spectre may not be amazing, but give her a 2v1, she can probably still kill you, especially when you're an Alchemist with no ultimate. So, again, I'm just kind of surprised that VP is letting this happen this way. TMW just coming back from the mid lane. He says, death ain't gonna stop me. S4 maybe looking to gank someone. His ultimate did just come off cooldown. And it looks like he's looking for KSI. Thinks he might still be up here, but KSI is long gone in the middle lane, so that's going to be a wasted ultimate from S4. He's not going to get anywhere in time to make use of that vendetta. Unfortunate for him. Good for VP. Good for VP for sure. How are we doing on net worth? Now Spectre is just a tiny bit ahead. It's now NTH doing a little bit better, but again, the mid game, they need to slow the Spectre down so she's not particularly good in the mid game, so that they can get a lot of work done in the mid game with their Magnus, with their Leshrock, with their Batrider. That's when those heroes are super, super effective. I mean, Magnus is still very strong in the late game. Batrider still has Lasso, so you can of course still pick off magic immune targets. But I mean, maybe they're just trying to get their blink on the Batrider before they worry too much about the Spectre. Maybe that's their goal. But smoke gank looks like it's coming out. Invis activated by Magnus. Smoke is popped by VP. That looks like they're going to be looking for a Spectre who isn't there. She's now down the bottom lane, farming there. So, game sense by Loda maybe? Maybe he saw the, with his ward, he saw the invisibility being picked up right here. And yeah, it looks like they're looking for a hero that's just not there. Man, good sense from Loda to get down to that bottom lane. He knew the gank had to be coming up there as soon as Magnus picked up that invis. Looks like Bulldog is going to be farming the jungle still. Maybe VP is going to want to come in on him instead. Is TMW going to burn his RP? I wouldn't think quite maybe. Invis is about to run out. There's the sticky napalm coming out. Going to skewer him back away. Bulldog trying to pour it out, but no, they don't need a stun. They don't need an RP. Bulldog just goes down to sheer damage. So again, Bulldog not having the greatest game. I think he is all of NTH's deaths right now. He is indeed at 0-3. But, there goes the Spectre reality coming in. She gets a little bit of damage done. Santa going to go down to Chen creeps. S4 getting the stun on TMW. Perfectly timed. And there's the lift so that nothing can happen with that reverse polarity. They lose Bulldog and get 3 kills in return on the gankers. They say, you do not get to kill our Nature's Prophet without us saying something about it. And Loda sitting at 2,400 gold already. I wonder if he is just going to go for a Radiance at this point. The Radiance build has become a lot less popular on a lot of Illusion heroes. People are gravitating towards the Diffusal Blade, but that doesn't mean it's a bad build. And it lets Loda put on a lot more mid-game pressure just by virtue of pressing R. The Diffusal Blade is really strong, but the Radiance AoE is going to be stronger in the mid-game. I mean, later in the game, when your Illusions are attacking really fast and you have a lot of agility, the extra agility and the mana burn is going to be more effective to help them out. But for now, if you can get a really quick Radiance, not only is it of course going to increase your farm rate and let you split push, but the Haunt is just going to be that much more powerful. Nobody likes fighting in a Radiance aura at something like 18 minutes. Chen scouting out this big ancient stack that's right here for VP. Wonder if Magnus is maybe just going to try and clear that out with Empower, or maybe Gyrocopter's just going to do it with Flat Cannon. And load up getting another kill. KSI going down on that Alchemist. I did not see where, but I got to bet that it was... No, he didn't even have Haunt, so he just killed him. And man, this is amazing how well Loda is playing on this Spectre. Spectre is not... Like I said, she's not a hero that contributes a whole lot to early game ganks and early game laning. So the fact that Loda's managing to pick off all these kills, playing very, very well, playing very defensively so he's not getting picked off, his map positioning and map awareness is excellent this game. And he's just knowing exactly when he can go in, snag a kill, and not even risk himself. Really, wow. I'm thoroughly impressed with this, because Loda, he's a very, very good farmer, but he has a tendency to get kind of overconfident. And I don't think we saw that once or twice in the last game. Didn't see it as much as we sometimes do, but this is not a game where he's overconfident. He is playing very meticulous, very, you know, calm, pressure-free Dota. And it's exactly what he needs to do to get the Spectre farmed up. He has exactly the right mindset right now. Oh, did he? Oh, it's just a clarity. Alright. I was like, what did he fly out to himself? He still has 3,200 gold. The heck did he buy? But nothing, apparently. Just a clarity. May not have even been his own. May have been someone else's, because carries are greedy people like that. They take everyone else's consumables as well as their own. It's like, my gold isn't enough. I need yours too. And yours. And everybody's. Loda looks like he wants to be pushing this bottom lane. They have a ward here, so they can see if there's rotation coming, at least for the next couple of seconds, but it looks like not a full rotation, just Airman going to come down here and start to push back, but Loda just going to happily port back up top. I believe they saw those wards being placed over here by Virtus.Pro. And TMW, he gets lifted out of the skewer once again, and he tries to get off the RP very quickly. It would have been a waste of an RP. He was too low on health. I mean, there's something... Spectre gets the kill again! Loda just managing to get every single kill. It's so critical that he pulls this off, and it's fantastic, really. He's sitting at 502. He has been a part of 7 of the 8 kills on an incredibly farm-dependent carry that's spending all of her time just sitting there last-hitting creeps. He's still managed to get 5 kills and 2 assists. And if he wants that relic, yeah, it looks like I see the courier going out right there to the secret shop. Is he going to spend that 3,800 gold? He buys himself a TP and not a relic. So now Loda could literally buy anything in the game he wants, and nothing's happening. Oh, nice RP is going to catch 2 right there. The Chen Hand of God, though, nice slow down, try and reset the fight a little bit. Call down just barely going to miss everyone, but that Flak Cannon going to get a lot of damage done. Lesh finishes off Ake on that Chen. And there's the stun going on to EGM. It looks like Vampire is going to... Oh, nice stun out by Rubik, buying himself just a little bit of time. There's Loda coming in. He's going in for Airman right here. He's got his courier sitting, waiting. There's his relic right there in the middle of the fight. Nyx picks up Leshrock. Airman does finish off Nature's Prophet, but he goes down at the same time. And Nyx picks up a Blink Dagger off that. So that is some mid-game power that they have coming out right here. And very, very powerful gank to put a lot of pressure on so that VP can't really think about going after the Spectre. And, oh man, already a relic. So we'll probably see maybe an 18-19 minute Radiance at the rate Loda is farming. So that's pretty darn significant. It'll not only increase his farm rate, but as I mentioned, the split pushing, the team fighting power, really a superb item for Spectre. And then we'll have to see if Loda feels comfortable going to Fusel Blade, or if he wants to go more defensive. Maybe get a Heart particularly soon. Just make sure he's got a lot of HP that they have to chew through, that the Dispersion is reflecting the whole way through. But again, I mean, you know, considering how... Oh, there's Santa going in onto EGM, but a nice just pickup by S4 just to make sure that the damage can't come out. There's the call down coming out, but Loda Reality's in. Look at the damage coming out from that relic. He can't quite continue to chase, though. Oh, there's the stun going out onto Loda. Is he finally going to go down for his first kill? Nice return stun from Santa. But, and he gets sent back to base. He gets the assists and the extra experience off of Magnus, and then just gets ported right back to base by his best buddy Chen. Well played by Ake, knowing exactly when he needed to bail Loda out of there. And Loda happily heals up, goes right back up top to farm. Very nearly has his relic, or not his relic, his Radiance. Needs about 200 more gold. And man, how is this net worth looking? A good 1,000 lead for Spectre over Gyrocopter, and the graphs show a 7,500 experience lead for no Tidehunter here. Much less of a gold lead, but the experience lead is hugely significant when a lot of their heroes are relying on just putting on a lot of mid-game pressure with abilities. Nyx Assassin. Chen, of course, is a high enough level. He's going to have his level 2 Hand of God as we're transitioning in the mid-game. He's about halfway to level 10. You know, give him a couple more minutes, he'll be level 11. Level 2 Hand of God, 300 points of healing. Rubik, of course, trying to get up his maxed out telekinesis. He's actually started leveling Nullfield. He sees all of the magic damage coming out of VP. He wants to get that countered effectively in these team fights. Looks like we do have S4 ganking up on an Airman right here. EGM going to be here to try and stop him if he tries to get away. Just very kindly lets other people get the kill. Lifts him, manages to steal his Flat Cannon at the same time, which is pretty darn funny on Rubik. Pretty useful on anyone to be able to just sit there and smack an entire fight's worth of people. It's like TMW was looking and maybe thinking about trying to gank in onto Chen, but then backed up at the last second. Chen, of course, has full vision of where he's coming from thanks to this ward right here. The Tentacle Ward. As it is referred to by one of my good friends, the Bible Black Ward. If you don't know what Bible Black is, don't Google it. We do have Rubik actually picking off Batrider very quickly. Spectre going to get the kill onto TMW, and Rubik picking off Leshrock. This is just... Oh, Loda gets a double kill as well. So his Haunt takes out someone in mid lane, gets him a bunch of assists for it. So he's at 7 assists, and he also gets a kill of his own up in the top lane. Is going to take the tier 2 tower most likely. Mid tower is definitely going to go down. Look at this just wave of extra creeps. Chen creeps, and those are particularly good pushing creeps. And of course the Nature's Prophet trees as well. Loda not quite going to get that tower. Call down looks like it was burned right here to slow him down. Not a particularly long cooldown, but means the gyro will be out of it for the next 30 seconds, and they won't be able to stop this from happening, which is maybe where the cooldown could have been put to better use. I'm not totally sure they could have stopped it hands down anyway, but they could have maybe delayed that long enough to try to take a fight with Loda's Haunt down. I mean, so Loda has his Radiance, has drums, has another 1,800 gold. This is all farmed Spectre. 10,000 net worth at about the 20-minute mark. That's pretty awesome. About 500 gold per minute this early in the game is quite significant. Oh, looks like maybe something happening down here. No, Bulldog just pulling out. And looks like the Roshan is going to be the target here for NTH. I mean, they have plenty of creeps to tank it. They can get it done without forcing Loda to be there, although he is going to get in time to snag the Aegis most likely, or maybe he just doesn't even care. Maybe he's confident. But no, he's doing a quick check, see if anyone's going to engage on him. Just kind of walking near the edge of his ward's sight radius, just to make sure they can pick him off very easily if they want to. Trying to give him a freebie. Bulldog picks up his Shadow Blade as Loda picks up that Aegis. And we are in an excellent position here. S4 is going to nearly pick off TMW solo in the middle of an entire enemy team. Hand of God is going to keep him alive just for a second. Decent RP, couple going down. But Loda just tearing people apart in this fight. The Radiance Burn killing people. He's chasing down TMW, who's going to be next. Santa is definitely next on the docket as well. He does not have mana for a dagger, but the Radiance Burn will bring him down in the end. Triple kill for Loda. So you bring down the Rubik and the Nyx, but in the meantime, 3 of your heroes just dying to a Spectre, who has now picked up a Yasha. She feels no need to build defensive right now. She's going to build for all-out damage. She knows, I mean, Loda knows that basically there's enough of an advantage just in levels. He's level 16. He's level 16 at let's look at the rest of the levels. Gyro is 14, then you have the entire team of NTH, 13, 12, 11, 11, and then 10, 10, 9, 9 are the supports and the, kind of off-farmers for VP. Now Loda is at 17. This is just amazing how quickly this Spectre is farming up, and all these assists and kills are being a huge boon to him. He's 11, 0, and 7 already. 21 to 9. Look at this XP, over 15,000 already. The gold graph is now skyrocketed as well to over 7,500. And this is not a position you can be in against a Spectre. Basically, they can't fight the Spectre because, I mean, assuming the Spectre is anywhere near a TP or anywhere near a tower for TP support, they can't do anything to put damage onto him. They can't engage him. And if you can't slow down the Spectre at this point, she's already so far ahead of your Gyrocopter, and so is the rest of their team. NTH basically, first of all, as long as Loda's Haunt is up, you can't engage the other 4 and just assume Loda's not going to show up, because he'll just Haunt his way in and you'll die anyway. So you basically have to wait and try to take a team fight when Haunt is down, but if you're spending a third of the time Haunt is down respawning your team because you've just lost a team fight, you don't have a huge window of opportunity, and anytime Haunt is up, they can't engage because the Spectre is so strong. And the dagger snags the kill on Leshrac, picking up another kill for Loda. Illidan saying to himself, whoops, nope, I'm getting right out of here. He's going to be the next target. Flamebreak tries to push NTH back, make sure they can't catch anyone. Going to be successful in that regard, but still, this does not look good. And I don't see a great way, aside from some really incredible team fights. I mean, I'm not even sure, even if you get like a perfect initiation right here and you stop this tower from going down, you get like an amazing RP, a great call down, you pop Loda's Aegis, and then Loda gets up and kills you anyway. Because there's the call down, going to be burned on just Loda, burn off some creeps as well. Not going to do a whole lot of damage. He's just going to start regenning up.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
In the meantime, of course, NTH is kind of posturing at this middle tower. Bulldog, just happily chipping away at the bottom tower, has Shadow Blade, knows he has to get out of there right then, sees with his ward that people are shifting in his direction. And, I mean, VP can't really spend a lot of gold on things. Oh, there goes the lasso getting off onto S4. He's going to be dragged away. Nice stun, going to put damage on him. Good RP, catches 3. The AoE follow-up is there. They're all stuck in the fire, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. Magnus goes down, Leshrac goes down. Airman is stuck in trees on that gyrocopter. Bulldog firing off an ult, having it bounce back around. Does pick off KSI with that, and Loda just chasing. Loda says, "Where do you think you're going? I am Spectre, and you can't run from me." TMW going in and dying again! Dying again to Loda, and Loda not even going to burn off his Aegis. Airman going to come back out. Is the Aegis still up? There it goes. Burns it off. Just worried about, was it about to go down? No, he had a couple minutes left on it, but, you know, not needing the grief of burning it in a bad position, wants to just burn it off and get his full health back. Oh, looks like Loda might be diving onto Airman. No, he's just going to play it carefully. This has been one of the most calm and composed Loda games I've ever seen, and it really shows how good he can be if he plays carefully. Because he farms really well. Vampire also going to go down to this Spectre. This should really be GG. Between the mid-game push that they have and the already severely overfarmed Spectre, there's nothing that Virtus.Pro can do about this. Spectre sitting on 5,000 gold. Loda gonna feed and just not even care. Buys back immediately and buys a Manta after buying back. This is traditional Loda. Just, you know, I don't really care. I'll just buy back. But at this point, now he just haunts back in. Doesn't, you know, pretty much just doesn't care. Haunts himself right back into the base. Gonna be chasing TMW. Stuns the wrong target. Poor KSI right there. I'm really surprised that the GG hasn't been called yet. I gotta be honest. When you have a Spectre that's this farmed at this time, 25 grand, I mean, they can't see the graphs, but they have to feel. Between Bulldogs, Bulldog has a reasonably well-timed Shadow Blade. He's got plenty of gold on top of it, 4,000. Spectre with a Radiance and a Manta at 25 minutes, and that was pretty much unganked. 16-1-13 Spectre. You gotta just say, alright, this is it. I mean, and they're not really close enough. Airman's not close enough to a Divine to try to turn this around with one of those. I mean, obviously they don't want to give up because they know he's gone, kind of the build that goes into Divine. The one I mentioned earlier, the Dom Helm into BKB. Basically build really defensive and then get a Divine. But he's not going to have it. He's still about, you know, 4,000 gold off of it. Looks like we are going to have some initiation coming out. Nice skewer, gets a couple caught, but there's the Hand of God to reset the HP bars. Alright, the RP catches a couple. They catch S4 and Loda, but they can't kill him. They can't kill Loda. S4 doesn't even die. He lives just fine. And he's in fact back at full health already. Jeez. There's the GG coming out from Vampire. And yeah, I expected that to come sooner, but darn! Was that a really excellent game from NTH, showing that they were not discouraged by Game 1. They came back with a vengeance. They picked Spectre, and they said, if you're not going to punish us for picking Spectre, we're just going to win. And that really showcases what I was talking about. If you don't punish Spectre, she just wins. You can't do anything about her if she gets farmed. You just can't. She's probably the hardest carry in the game. At the very least, she's up there with heroes like Medusa and Faceless Void. So yeah, you know, I just think that was VP's misplay. They didn't punish the Spectre pick at all. That's all there is to say about it. Alright, Game 3. So now, we have no idea who's going to come out of this ahead. 1-1 is the standing. Moving on to Game 3 of this best of 3. If it's anything like the first two, should be a hell of a game. Be right back.